This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
𝗔𝗕𝗢𝗢 from 𝗕𝗏 Venture.
And today we'd like to talk about our online dating techniques more specifically than usual.
And some tips that how you talk with more like, not talkative women.
Yeah. Chung was saying that the Filipino women, some of them are very shy.
Yeah, I think most of the Asian girls are very shy.
That's true, yeah.
Yes.
And so the reason that we're doing this video is I got an email from one of my subscribers. His name, well, I'll call him Brett. And he said, do you do background checks on women to see if they're married? And he said, before I fly to the Philippines, I want to do a background check and see if she's married. I think he's putting the cart before the horse. And so I wanted to talk about what my process is for online dating. And Chung wants to, I invited Chung on, and she's going to share some of her thoughts. And so that's what we're up to today.
I know why he want to check the Philippine woman, is they are married, but I will share why in the end of the video.
Yeah, and by the way, everything we're sharing with you is in writing. And so at the end, I'll give you how to get a link to all this, so you don't need to take notes about what we're talking about. So the 5 steps that I've used, some or all of during my online dating in Southeast Asia over the years, here they are, and I'll just list them first. Obviously, you have to put up an online profile. The 2 that I recommend are Tinder and OkCupid. You have to message women that you're interested in, or men, or if you're a woman, or whatever, if you're whatever. Some people like to talk on the phone after messaging for a little bit before they meet in person. That's a potential step you could take. And then a next potential step is to just meet for coffee for like 30 minutes rather than start with a date, and I'll explain more about that later. And then finally, if you have attraction when you've met in person, set up like a real date or spend more time, a few hours together on, if you will, a second meeting. And so those are the steps that I used. Some of them I've dropped along the way, and so that's what I wanted to cover. And then towards the end, I want to talk about a video call that a lot of people have added during the pandemic.
Yes.
And what our thoughts are about that. And then I'll tell you the three bad experiences I had with women that made me set 3 rules that I quit meeting them. The process will unfold, and I'll explain these 3 rules to you towards the end. And then at the end, I'll answer Brett's question: should he be doing background checks on people he's never met before, and why my process will solve that for him. Okay, so you want to put up a profile. I would put it up on Tinder, and I would put it up on OkCupid. And if other people are recommending others, it doesn't hurt to put your profile up on multiple sites. So.
Yeah, as long as it's free, register.
Yeah, that's my thing too. If it's free.
Yes.
Okay, step number, and also in step number 1, also I don't get this idea that you're going to find Mr. or Mrs. Perfect right away.
Oh, yeah.
I would message multiple people that you're interested in, or swipe right on multiple people you're interested in. You might have to make 10, 20 inquiries before you have your first meeting. So don't have this idea that there's this knight in shining armor.
And nowadays the camera is very powerful.
Yeah.
They are very beautiful on the picture.
Yeah.
So definitely you have to like check more of the people and then meet them.
Yeah. So the pictures are lying to you, is what Chung said.
Yes.
And so once you've messaged back and forth a bit, I don't wait too long. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days, but eventually I want to meet. I don't want to get invested in a person too much before I meet them.
Yes.
And so I might suggest a call first, but probably not. Mostly I just go right to saying, hey, let's meet for coffee. Now this is pre-pandemic, and we'll talk about video in a minute, because I want to meet someone and see whether they've been lying to me, whether they've been exaggerating about themselves, and whether I'm basically attracted to them. I don't want to invest in somebody so much that I start asking if I should do a background check on them before I've met in person. Now there's 3 rules. I said I'll cover those. That would break those rules. And so I like to meet them next.
Me too. I don't like to talk too much on the message. I never have a call with anyone.
No calls.
No call. It's just few times message,
Yeah.
and then boom, we just out for coffee or a dinner
Right.
straight away because I don't want to wasting time on texting.
Yeah, I mean, I've texted for 2 weeks before meeting someone, but I would draw the line there. If they don't want to meet you over after texting back and forth for 2 weeks, cut and run. Tell them, hey, great, I'm interested in you. If you want to meet, let me know. But I'm looking for someone a little more serious about meeting at least. I'm not looking for online friends. Don't go on for weeks and months. You could waste so much time. Okay, and then if the online meetings, towards the end of my coffee, I would, and maybe even when I'm asking to meet for the coffee, I'd say, hey, let's meet for 30 minutes to see if we have basic attraction to each other and for coffee. And if we do, at the end, we'll just go our separate ways. And I'll text you the next day. And if we both want to meet again, then we can meet for a day. That's what my technique is.
Yeah, but I also will meet people and I make friends with my Tinder friends as well.
Right.
Because I don't looking for a partner in the Tinder or in any website. I'm looking for a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great attitude because you're not putting pressure on the meeting.
No.
And so it depends whether you want friends or not, or whether you're actually looking for someone that might fit you more long term and be more than just friends. So nothing wrong with friends, but you have to think about what your motivation is. Usually when I'm online dating, I have friends all over the world on Facebook, and so I'm not really looking to make an online friend. But but if you're like Chung and you're like, hey, I'll make friends, it's fine. Maybe one of their friends will be interested in me. That's fine too. So it depends what your purpose is. But after the coffee meeting, if I'm interested in them, the next day I text them and say, hey, I had fun meeting with you. I'd love to, you want to go for a bike ride, you want to go to dinner, let's meet for cocktail hours, whatever your thing is. You want to kind of be yourself because you have to find out whether they're compatible with you.
Yeah, that's true. You need to go out a few times and then to talk with them and, start a conversation with them as well.
Right.
Don't ask them where you live, how many family members, and all this. Ask them about that. I'm very interested in your country. Can you recommend me what kind of food that I should try? Have you visited other part of Philippines? Where you can recommend me to go?
Yeah.
So it will bring out that they know how to talk with you with their own knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great point because you don't want to get too personal. You don't want to ask them what kind of job they do, or if that comes out naturally, let them share that, obviously. But you don't want to be pushing like there's some list that you're checking off, and you probably don't want people asking you those questions either. What's your net worth, and how many times have you been married? How many kids do you have? That's not really conversations you have like on a first coffee meeting or something. You just want to kind of get to know whether or not they're really kind of cool people or whatever. And I would put those kind of questions off till a little later once you get to know them. But after you've had, you met for dinner or whatever, it's time to be yourself and let them discover who you are. You don't want to waste a lot of time finding out that, that they're not interested in you for whatever reason, religion, race, you want to get it out there, but don't get too serious, be lighthearted about it. And so that's pretty much it. That's my process. So my process is a screening process. I use it because I don't want to spend weeks online with somebody before I meet them. So I set these deadlines. And I don't communicate with just one person. I communicate with multiple people. And I'm unwilling, before I will communicate with someone, they have to be near me, or I have to be near them within a couple weeks. In other words, if I'm in America and it's a pandemic and I can't go to the Philippines for a year, I wouldn't be online communicating with people and fall in love with them over the phone and multiple video calls and all this stuff. When you haven't met them yet, you really don't know if that's going to translate into real life. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, because I did talk with some guy from the other country. We talk and very lovely and happy, but when I meet them, it's like I will not talk to the guy more than a week, unless that we will meet in a week, because it's really wasting the time, because you will not see how he look, what is his height, and how he treat the people. If I go out have a coffee with them, I will see how they treat the people and how they treat me.
Absolutely.
That is a very detailed thing. So
there's so many subtle nuances when you meet a person in person that you won't get on a video call, that you won't get on a phone call.
Yeah.
And so you don't, I mean, there are people that fall in love with people before they've never met them. That's a bad direction to go in, I think. And that's what I think Brett was saying to me. Should I background check her to see if he's thinking about marriage, about someone he's never been in the same room with. And that to me is risky, you know? I don't want to put that much time. I don't want to be so committed to something that I haven't seen whether or not we really are a good fit. Mm-hmm. And so I have a geographical rule. I don't put a profile up online until I'm going to a country and I'll be there 2 weeks. Then when your profile's first fresh online, that's when you're going to get the most action. You don't want to put it up 6 months before you get there, fall in love with 1 or 2 people, quit communicating with everyone else, and then you arrive and they're both, it doesn't work. It's not a good idea. Right before you fly, a couple of years, or weeks, I'm sorry, put up your profile then. Geographical undesirability is a bad idea. And then also the first meeting rule. I'll text for 2 weeks, but I've got to meet within 2 weeks. Otherwise, and you can't do that if you're in another country. So my process is intended to get to the first meeting to see if I'm really interested in her before I become mentally invested in something that's not going to work, or emotionally. And definitely financially. Can you imagine he's going to do a background check on her? You probably are meeting other people. They're like sending money to the Philippines. And there are people in the Philippines that need money, but it shouldn't be because you're falling in love with them and you're trying to help their family and you're envisioning marriage and all this stuff. You want to send money, do it no strings attached, no drama, no expectations, but don't get all so emotionally involved with someone before you met them. Okay, so no, I wouldn't do a background check, Brett. I wouldn't do that. I would think of her as just another person, and keep your profile up and tell her, look, we haven't met. We don't even know if we're attracted to each other. So I'm going to keep up my profile and meet other people, but don't do it till you get 2 weeks before you go.
So now I also want to tell why he want to do the background check. Because in Philippines, there is no divorce allowed. So once you're married, it's forever. That's why.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that is when we stay in the 𝗏𝗏𝗏, the owner,
right?
She told me about that.
Wow.
And she and her husband, they haven't divorced yet.
So he's living with another girl.
Yes.
He can never marry her. Or she?
No.
Because he cannot legally divorce.
They cannot legally. It takes a lot of time, or I don't know how, but in Philippines, she told me there's no...
So it might be possible, but it's expensive and time consuming. Because the Catholic Church, my family was Irish Catholic historically. And they used to have a no marriage rule too, but eventually it calmed down a long time ago, and you could divorce. So interesting concept. Yeah,
but the thing is, who cares in Philippines, even they are married or not married? If you really love her, you will be with her.
Yeah, I don't care if she's been married or not.
Yeah.
No, but there's something hidden in that. Is she scamming me? She's happily married. She lives with her husband and kids, and she's just communicating with 20 people online.
There's a possible as well.
Now, the reason I don't care about any of that is because I haven't even met her yet. I just want to have fun. Is she attractive? Is she fun? Is she interesting? Is she smart? Once I've met her and I realize I'm attracted to this girl, then I might start thinking about, is she married? I mean, because I'm not going to get in a relationship with someone until I've met them. And so I would think of it as like, it's more like a numbers game. So that's it. So anyway, this is all in writing. You didn't need to memorize any of it. Just click below. If you enjoyed the video,
please like, comment, and subscribe. And help this video to reach to the more people to watch it.
Exactly. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Make sure to hit the notifications bell. Bye-bye.